Straw Bull. There was a grandfather and a grandmother, and they were so poor that it was terrifying. So the grandmother said to the grandfather, "Make me a straw bull and tar it with pitch. But why did you give up that bull?" "Do it, I say. I already know why. There is nothing to do." Grandfather made a straw bull and tarred it with pitch. So in the morning, the grandmother gathered some skeins and drove the straw bull to graze. She herself sat under a bush, spun a skein, and ordered, "Graze, graze, bull, on the grass while I spin the skeins. Graze, graze, bull, on the grass while I spin the skein." She spun until she fell asleep. When a bear came running from the dark forest, from a large pine forest, "Who are you?" And the bullock says, "I am a third-rate bullock, made of straw, tarred with pitch." The bear says, "If you are tarred with pitch, then give me some tar to patch up your torn side." The bullock is silent. Then the bear grabbed his side and started tearing off the pitch. He tore it off, and it got stuck. He snorted. No! He dragged that bullock to God knows where. Then the old woman wakes up and the bullock is gone. "Oh, I am in great trouble. Where has my bullock gone? He must have already gone home." When she looks, the bear is dragging the bullock into the forest. She says to her grandfather, Grandfather, our bullock has brought a bear. Go and kill him." The grandfather jumped out, tore off the bear, took it and threw it into the grave. So the next day, before dawn, the old woman had already gathered the spinning wheel and sent the bullock to graze on the grass. She herself sat down under a bush, spun the spinning wheel and ordered, "Graze, graze, bullock, on the grass while I spin the balls. Graze, graze, bullock, on the grass while I spin the balls." She spun until she fell asleep. Just then, from the dark forest, from the great pine forest, a gray wolf ran out and to the bullock. "Who are you?" "I'm a third-rate bullock, made of straw, tarred with pitch." The wolf says, "If you are tarred with pitch, give me some pitch to tar my side too, because the damned dogs have torn it off." "Take it," says the bullock. The wolf immediately grabbed the bullock, wanted to tear off the pitch. He dragged and got stuck so that it wouldn't come off. The old woman woke up and the bull was no longer visible. She thought, "My bull must have wandered home." When she looked, the wolf was dragging the bull. She ran to call her grandfather. The grandfather threw the wolf cub into the cellar. The old woman drove the bull to graze on the third day. She sat down under a bush and fell asleep. When the fox runs, "Who are you?" "I am a third-rate bull made of straw, tarred with pitch." "If so, then let me put some pitch on my side, because those damned greyhounds didn't even take off my skin." "Take it," says the bull. The fox grabbed the bull with her teeth and tied it up. The old woman saw this and told her to call her grandfather. The grandfather ran and threw the fox into the cellar, and the next day, the runaway hare was caught. Grandfather sat down by the firewood and started sharpening his knife, and the bear asked him, "Grandfather, why are you sharpening your knife?" "To skin you and make coats for yourself and your grandmother." "Oh, don't cut me, grandfather. Let me go free, and I'll bring you a lot of honey for it." "Well, look," answered the grandfather. He took the bear and let it go, and he sat down and sharpened his knife again. And the wolf asked him, "Grandfather, why are you sharpening your knife?" "To skin you and make you a warm hat for the winter." "Oh, don't cut me, grandfather. I'll drive you a whole flock of sheep for it." "Well, look," answered the grandfather and let the wolf go. He sits and sharpens his knife. The fox stuck out his muzzle and asked, "Tell me, please, grandfather, why are you sharpening your knife?" "To skin you and sew gloves for the winter." "Oh, don't cut me, grandfather. I'll bring you chickens for it." "Well, look," the grandfather answered and let the fox go. He sits and sharpens his knife. The hare asks him, "Grandfather, why are you sharpening your knife?" "To skin you and sew warm gloves for the winter." "Oh, don't cut me, grandfather. I'll bring you all kinds of vegetables for it." The grandfather let the hare go until the next night. Something knocks on the door. The grandfather opens it. There's a bear there with honey. As soon as he lay down, something knocks on the door again. Opens. The wolf drove the whole flock of sheep. So until morning, the fox and the bunny came. The old man and the old woman lived in prosperity, and the straw bowl still stands in their yard.